Welcome back, everybody. Our next guest made a very bold move. She decided to relocate 800 miles away from home, and she left behind 2 teenage sons. Today, she explains what led her to make that choice. She also shares advice on how you can challenge old roles, stop sacrificing your needs, and live more authentically. Ellen McGinnis is a life transition expert with Live Your Jam. Her goal is to help people live with more clarity, purpose, and unapologetic truth, which I love. It's great to see you, Ellen. Welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so people are hearing this decision that you made. That's a difficult decision, to have 2 kids who are teenagers still living at home and to decide to move away. Why did you do that?
Well, it wasn't a decision that just happened all at once. It happened and took place step by step. When my ex-husband and I decided to separate, I actually moved out of the family home just 4 minutes down the road. And that gave me the space to realize that I was mothering my sons in ways that they no longer needed. They were becoming young adults, and what I realized is they didn't need my constant physical presence. And I didn't need to show them that anymore. I actually needed to show them a mother fully stepping into her own life.
See, I love that. And I think recognizing that maybe that's a new thing for them to learn and that they're tough enough to withstand that. And also, I'm just going to hand you this microphone, Ellen, just because we must be having problems with your microphone. A lot of people are going to say, but isn't a mother supposed to be there for her kids?
Yeah, I asked myself the same question. It's a difficult one, but I recognize that constant presence, society tells us that our physical constant presence makes a good mother. And I didn't really want to continue that. I wanted to show them something else. So yeah, while presence is also energetic. So I can show them my love and my support and my guidance through presence that way, as opposed to constant physical presence.
I like that. I think many parents, especially women, perhaps mothers, can relate to the idea of sacrificing all of their needs for the sake of their children, for their family. Do you feel like in some ways that keeps us sort of small?
I do in some ways, and maybe so let me explain how I view that, is I love being a mother, and I willingly sacrifice and put my family first. That was what I wanted to do. But over time, when we put others first constantly, we are compromising pieces of ourselves. And we're suppressing some of our own needs. And I realized that wasn't the legacy I wanted to pass on to my boys. I really wanted to I didn't want to demonstrate self-sacrifice anymore. I wanted to show them what it looked like for a woman to truly be in her own power.
And did you feel like you were making this move for them? Because obviously you wanted them to see a different side of you. You wanted them to see women in a different way. But you probably also wanted some of your own freedom and to pursue your own dreams. And you must have thought it was time.
Well, moving 800 miles away felt pretty big, but my next chapter and my work opportunities and the things that I wanted to achieve were calling me to another state. So when the divorce finalized, I sat down and talked to them, and they were actually very supportive. And I really realized that the foundation that I had built with them would hold. And that also the choice was helping us all grow.
Right. I think that part of it is fascinating. You know, you didn't just move down the street, as you mentioned. You moved 800 miles away, which I think would be very hard.
Yes.
You worry about the kids,
Yep.
but it's hard on you too. What would you tell other women who sort of hear their souls whispering or their intuition is telling them to do something that may be bold, and they might be thinking, oh, that can't possibly be what I'm supposed to do?
Right. I had that same reaction. I was like, no, when I was listening to my intuition. I would tell them that nudge is real and to listen to it. It's your soul calling you to develop a different, new aspect of yourself. I would also tell them that we're not here to be everything to everyone. I would tell them that there's no perfect time. And I would also say that roles are comforting and they're needed, but after a while they can cage us. So if you find yourself in the ladder where you're feeling caged, or potentially that you've outgrown that role, take the leap. You won't regret it because you'll get a sense of freedom and a way to kind of express yourself in a new way.
I think we're so used to ignoring that voice, that soul whisper. So I want to know what advice you would have for someone else as they feel perhaps called to release an old role, to embrace a new role, that feels what it feels like to be in that space.
Yeah. When we are moving from one transition to the next, and we release the old role and we still haven't fully formed to the new one, that can be lonely and disoriented. And unfortunately, I tell people, you're right where you need to be. So the advice I give them is, number one, don't rush to fill up that space that you've just become free. Be patient with it, because you want to fill those things intentionally. And the second piece of advice I give people is about routine, particularly grounding routines. Routines can, when we're in a disoriented or liminal space, they can ground us and make us feel more safe. So I pick things like walking, journaling, meditating, things that are going to allow you to be self-reflective, because then your intuition is going to come through, and you're going to need that intuition to create the new you.
I love that. Ellen, thank you so much for being
for
here,
having me.
sharing your bold choice and giving us advice too. Maybe we won't all move 800 miles away, but there are small things we can do to listen to our intuition and that whisper from our soul. So here's the deal. The Live Your Jam podcast is about big shifts, brave moves, and boldly living what lights you up. You can subscribe to Ellen's podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple. And for more information, you can also visit her website. It's liveyourjam.com.